When I was about 12 years old, one of my dad's friends from Vegas would come visit us in California occasionally. He was a friendly guy in a loving relationship with his wife, but he was also a bit touchy, though that didn't really bother me at first. Brace yourselves, because I'm going to get right to the point. One day, when he came to my uncle's house to play mahjong, he commented on how nice my butt was and grabbed it very hard. It was so sudden, and it actually hurt a lot. I was immediately in shock, physically from the pain, but also emotionally, because my dad didn't even seem to care. Maybe my dad didn't notice, or maybe he didn't know how hard his friend had groped me. I mean, at the time, my dad would slap my butt playfully here and there, so it wasn't completely out of place for someone's hand to be there. But I just felt really dismissed for having been painfully groped to the point of my eyes watering. It even developed into a bruise a few days later that I was ashamed to let anyone see. A few months passed, and when he came back to visit, he forcefully grabbed my butt again. After that, I was much more careful about avoiding him, but really, I just felt so powerless in this situation. What options did I even have? And this is considered sexual assault, right? Today, I'm going to evaluate my options and shed some light on what seemed to be such a gray and difficult situation to navigate. First off, I could have told my mom or dad that it seriously hurt when he grabbed me. But really, what could they have done? They were very conflict-averse people who did not like offending others. And to tell their friend to not grab their son's butt is such an awkward conversation I'm certain my dad would never have. For my mom, if it was serious enough, she would just help me avoid the friend. But I'm also almost certain she would not bring it up to him. Sure, I know there are some parents out there who aren't afraid to speak up about these things. But my parents and those in our social circles were just not like that. And I knew that, so it felt pointless to even bring it up to them if they were not going to do anything about it. Aside from that, my other option would be to call the police. Imagine that, me secretly calling the police on this guy. I can only imagine 3 possible outcomes. 1, the police ignoring me. 2, the police giving him a slap on the wrist warning. And 3, the police writing him up or even arresting him. 1 or 2 are the most likely, and I'm pretty sure my parents would have gotten mad at me for overreacting and getting the police involved for what they would think is such a trivial thing. I mean, even I would have felt guilty if I had called the police. Guilty for putting everybody through the trouble. And for what? Earning a permanent reputation for being a snitch? Ruining my dad's friendship with this guy just for him to get off on a warning or for the whole thing to get ignored? Calling the police was not even something I considered. Let's not forget, this was decades before the Me Too movement, the campaign for consent, and so on. In today's social climate, this would be much less likely to happen, but if it did, there'd be at least a bit more sympathy for the victim. Either way, regardless of when it happened, I still look back now and am unable to find a different solution for my past self. It was something I couldn't tell anyone, but it was something I did not want happening to me. I didn't want this guy touching me. Sure, if he was flat out beating me, it may have been much easier to get him arrested or reprimanded. But this was more of a gray area where he could have been perceived as being playful. And sure, maybe that's what he was doing, but I did not like it or want it, and it was actually injuring me too. Which makes me think, this must happen to children today as well. They may feel unable to talk to adults about this kind of gray area abuse, and they might even feel guilty and embarrassed for bringing it up. This scenario can fall under the umbrella of general consent and a form of Me Too, but it's definitely more nuanced than that. And we need to create an environment where children can feel validated, heard, and safe for reporting these kinds of assaults. But what do you think? What should someone in this situation do? How should this be categorized and addressed? Let me know in the comments below. And lastly, it would mean so much to me if you'd like this video and subscribe to my channel. Have a great day!